Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Final Fantasy X. So I did a little bit of grinding off screen. We've collected a good bit of items. We have 99 Bhed potions. It maybe was excessive, but you know, one of the trophies or achievements or whatever you want to call it for this game is to literally fill out the entire sphere grid, so I do not mind filling it up more and more as we go. But to recap the story, we are now stuck on Bikanel Island, the warm and hot desert that is the home of the Bhed, and Riku is going to guide us to their hideaway where Yuna is being kept safe and secure. And basically, yeah, so like the enemy types aren't really that like varied when it comes to this. So you have like the flyers that Waka can deal with, you have the drakes that Orin or Kamari can attack, and you have the wolves that Tidus can deal with. So some very useful stealable items, because I didn't really show many of the battles, but you can steal sleeping powders, which is like an AoE sleep attack from the wolves, and you can steal, as you saw, like dark inflicting, like smoke bombs basically, to inflict dark on all enemies on the field, which is pretty good. And while I was here, I did some grinding of overdrives, because obviously the more overdrives he uses, the more new ones he will learn, and he's just learned his last one, Blitzace. So a really handy way to do this is just to, in those kind of mobs like that, where you have like the wolf, the bird, and the drake, just basically kill the other two monsters, have Tidus's overdrive be on loner, and then once you kill two of the monsters, have your other two party members run away, and then you can basically just guard or use items to let your overdrive charge to full, and then just use an overdrive. The zoos are like the big black birds that we fought at the end of the last episode. They're also quite handy, because you can slow them, haste Tidus, and then he can get loads of turns and actually get like one or two overdrives in like one battle, which is quite useful. Now we're just moving on to the next area. Like, there is just a lot of sand, and not to sound like a certain Jedi come Sith Lord, but like,
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating.
Sand is not my favorite thing in the world. It is not really a vibe, and the surroundings are all basically like the same. But there are some really cool treasure chests that we're going to go look at in the other area there. And there are also tons of key items. Like, I'm not looking forward to writing the description of this video, because there is going to be like a list a mile long of like Bhed Primers and other really useful collectibles. But yeah, like the battles here, you're getting roughly 4 to 6 Bhed potions, so like you are going to be stacked. I have 99 leaving here, and like, you know, that isn't, you know, hard to do. It's not as if you'd be grinding for ages. But basically, when you get to the central area and you see the save point there, just over the beyond to the like back right there, you can see a book, an Bhed Primer, lying on the ground there. So go and collect that. But like, it's interesting as well, because like like, we've made ourselves enemies of Yevon as well, and like Waka has learned that Riku's an Bhed, and there's all those issues too. So like, things have just been a bit crazy the last couple of episodes. So like, it's kind of nice just to have like I suppose like a sparse open landscape as kind of like a symbolism for like where our characters are. They're just kind of lost in this big open, you know, you know, not a lot of options, and a lot of you know, empty space going on there. But Roxas is just getting all that strength. So it's quite good. Kamari is continuing along Riku's path. So just getting a good variety of, you know, mediocre stat boosts, but just with the highest being agility. Waka is after moving onto Oren's path, so he's going to get like guard, he's going to get power breaks, he's going to get just tons of HP and strength abilities. So, and like this is kind of the thing. Roxas, Waka, and Riku, they're the 3 underwater characters in the game. And like obviously when you are limited to those 3 characters, it's like the capabilities of what they can do based off the other 4 characters is like limited to you. But we're after moving Riku onto Yuna's grid so she can get some healing, some like better magic, some better magic defense. And like as well as that, she has like the use ability, which kind of gives some elemental attacks and things, but like her magic is quite respectable. And she's like one of the fastest characters as well, and like agility is just such a powerful stat in this game for getting turns, and the more turns, the more things you can do, and like if we can let Riku do more variety of things, all the better. So I know you're seeing the gap there in the Bhed Primers. Do not worry. We just collect them slightly out of sequence. We didn't miss any. So if you go back to the... Ooh, a cactar. These are different from the Quacktars in the Thunder Plains. They give 12,000 experience. They give so much experience. But they run away super quickly. So it's unlikely you'll get to swap in all of your different characters for that. But as I say, Riku's kind of appearing in Yuna's grid so late in the game that like all of her stat boosts are like +4s. She's not getting like +1s or +2s. Like she's just getting +4s, which is just like, you know, a massive boost to like her damage and defensive capabilities. So even though she didn't like, you know, start with the highest magic, and like, you know, her natural thief sphere grid, if you like, has again medium based growth in all of her stats. So she's actually not far behind the other spellcasters, Yuna and Lulu, in that regard. But as I was saying earlier, like the fact that now we can have Waka do things that Oren could only do underwater, and Riku doing things only Yuna could do underwater, will just have the underwater combat be so much more varied and like useful. And that's one of the reasons why I find a Unity run, like the idea of just literally taking the extra bit of time to swap everybody in, make sure they get a turn, because you get into situations like this. Yuna's gone, and like if you weren't leveling up all your characters, like Riku is basically the strongest healer. If you didn't break anybody off to go get steal and use, like Riku then becomes this amazing healer with the Bhed potions. And like if you weren't leveling her up, it's like, well, you're going to be in a spot of bother, you know? But this area I should mention. So you're seeing like a lot of zoos and a lot of like treasure chests and like the brief clips that you're seeing of the battles. But this entire area has specifically strong enemies with rare items in the treasure chests that are there. So like this is basically a really good grinding spot. And these things, oh my goodness, they're so good. They're so slow that if you literally hasted Tidus, he would get like so many turns, and it's really like inaccurate and stuff. So like it's, you know, you're in no danger from it really. So you could get like tons of overdrives off this thing. But they give so much experience as well, and they're really good to steal from too, and they're quite a rare spawn, so like you absolutely 100% want to fight these. And yeah, like even the Lancet ability that can recover 100 MP, like they're just so full of like MP, so full of HP. It's wild. And I mightn't have mentioned it, but Lulu now has access to her Ga spells, like the highest tier of black magic. So like we love that. We stan her. Absolutely.
Bring it on.
And like it's funny because like other characters had like voice lines an awful lot in previous areas, but like Riku just gets so many just because like she's in Bikanel, her home turf kind of a thing. So that's really cute. But yeah, these enemies, I just kind of left this battle in purely because they are just like shadow gems are just so powerful.
Got you covered.
And like their drops are just amazing. So and again, just keep your hard hitters in. Let Lulu do some high level black magic. And the only risk here is when it does that swallow ability, which like literally eats one of your party members. But just do damage. Just do damage to them, and they'll be spat back up in no time. And yeah, like again, delay so powerful with hasted characters, you know? And then once you deal enough damage, the enemy will spit your party member back out. But if you don't deal enough damage, they actually like spit them out as an attack and do damage to them. So, you know, keep on the pressure, keep on the offensive, and don't let up. But again, every attack we're basically doing like just under 3,000 damage. It's like crazy. And we get an overkill, bonus AP, bonus money, better drops, 3,000. Not as good as the Cactars, but again, they're such a rare spawn. It's pretty bad. But pop in here and collect another Bhed Primer. So that's the primer that looked like we were missing. It's the one that like is to the bottom left here. But we basically nearly have the entire alphabet. Like we're up to R. There's not many like letters left, you know. And for like general conversation, like the subtitles will basically all be filled in. But for the treasure chests in these areas, you can get like ethers, you can get high potions, X potions, like they're stamina tablets. They're like really, really good treasure chests to farm. But like the most important treasure chest, you're going to see the like nook in here. Collect this treasure chest in this little nook. It is like the most important thing to collect for like later on in the game. And you're going to have to forgive me. That was not a very unified run. I just was literally like I just wanted to get to the treasure chest. But collect this one here. No, not that one. Sorry, the one in the sand pit. And you're able to get the Mercury Crest, one of the key items for the celestial weapons later on in the game, and this one is for Riku. And again, I think I said it earlier on that like all of the areas where you get the crests are like connected to the character. So like Bikanel's connected to Riku, Besaid's connected to Yuna. You have the Mihen High Road, a connection to Orin, but like, you know, really Orin could have been anywhere really. And then you have Lulu in the far plane, mysteriously, but like it will make sense later on. Waka gets his crest in the Lucas Stadium. We collected that earlier in like in the locker room of the Aurochs. And then the only one we're missing is Kamari's, but that will make complete sense once we unlock it shortly. But yeah, like Tidus is just progressing along. We're basically only going to be getting like 3s and 4s now for the rest of his grid, which is absolutely brilliant. And we're going to end up there at Quick Hit for the end of his sphere grid. But what's really interesting is these kind of optional fights where the treasure chests fall into these like traps with these Mandragora enemies, which are like the seed spitting guys from the Kilika Woods, except they can inflict confusion, they can inflict so much damage. They're quite scary, so do not go into them haphazardly and like without a plan. They absorb water, which is not good. That's why I'm changing Roxas's weapon there. And I'm just giving everybody initiative so we have as much chance as possible of getting a preemptive strike. But as I say, Riku having that like MP walk ability, she'll be able to just heal like so much with her Kyoraga when she eventually gets it. But yeah, haste everybody. Now, I do power break, but they're immune. That's a bit of a sadness. But they're also immune to slow. So yeah, not showing my best here. But you can basically get 10 musks or 2 remedies. Those are 2 different types of steals you can get. And we're just making sure everybody gets a turn. And like realistically what I should have just done was do sleep attack. They are vulnerable to sleep, which I learned through one of Kamari's useful abilities in white magic, never used, but scan. I used scan on the Ochu back in Kilika Woods, but basically, yeah, it gives you their strength, their weaknesses, their HP, gives you little synopsis what they can do, and then their immunity. So they're immune to slow, power break, darkness, confusion, provoke, threaten, silence. But they're not immune to sleep. And basically, with the fact that we have high level casters now, sleep is a broken condition if we can apply it, because we can just do so much damage with our magic casters, and then monsters don't wake up from sleep if they're hit by magic. So we're gonna swap in Lulu and start hitting it with some fire. And if she had Firaga, oh my god, it would be even like so much more damage, like so much more. It's crazy. But they're actually armored. They're armored creatures, so piercing weapons are needed to, break their armor. And again, just sleeping powder, put them to sleep, and then just hit them with magic. Really, is a broken strategy, but really, really useful, given the fact that that monster is basically a mandatory fight to get into the next portion of the map. So it's like a mini boss-ish of sorts. Now, if it had gotten turns, it would have been using Seed Burst, there would have been confusion. If party members are hit with confusion, they can hit themselves. Like if Orin gets confused, oh my goodness, we just get like massacred. But it's really nice, it has like 3 mega elixirs. We love that for ourselves. Yeah, some really, really good like chest loot. We love it. Again, strength +4, going into the 50s in strength. Absolutely loco. And then we have like a lovely like ring of like empty nodes, and people are saying, why would you unlock that? There's just all empty nodes. But when we start getting and like grinding and like collecting stat nodes to give us +4s and different things, we're going to be loving areas where we can just fill with like massive stat gains. And what was really funny was that she hit a battle like 1 step away from the battle with the boss here, or the mini boss here. But just follow what I did before. Sleeping powder, magic, you'll beat it, absolutely no problem. And now we're going to be going into home. And like the story is going to be kicking up a massive gear. But as well as that, it's like super important you do not miss these certain collectibles. I don't miss them. I know I've had a bad history in the past of missing stuff, but I do not miss it. Anything here. Because this place will not be returned to after this one visit. But basically, Fiends and Yevon have like stormed the Albed settlement.
Let's go.
So there's just a war. They've just sent Fiends to like attack the Albed and break in.
Who's attacking us?
Who did this to you? Yevon and the Guado are attacking
A war between Yevon and the
and killing Riku's friends. It's not a war between Yevon and the Albed. They've come for the summoners. So this is Riku's father, Sid.
Well, just don't stand there. Come on. Let's go kick those Guado out of our home. Who?
Sid, leader of the Albed. He's my dad.
Let's go.
Yeah. We have to save Uni.
And if we remember, Sid was Yuna's mother's brother, which means that Riku and Yuna are cousins. But collect this book here. I will have to say it multiple times. You will not return here. Ever. So all of the collectibles here are one time only. And quite a lot of the chests in here are actually like fun little mini games to do with the Albed language. And you get some absolutely crazy upgrades. And like useful spheres for the sphere grid and stuff from these special hidden chests. One of which, can I just say, are like totally and completely unfairly like hidden away kind of from how the game like lets you view things. It like manually fixedly changes the camera angle, and like you're obviously in this like high pressure situation. You're trying to find Yuna, you're like rushing through things, you don't want to be like taking your time, and then the game's like, yeah, move, but then it's like there was literally something backwards from where you started that you had to collect, and it's very out of the way. In hindsight, I should have done Stone Breath, but at least Aqua Breath does damage. Oh, I have the hiccups. But yeah, don't quite know why I... Oh well, yes, I was guarding because we had to let everybody have a turn. Hex potions are a rare steal, so good girl, Riku. High potions are the normal steal. I don't think Rox got a turn, did he? No, he didn't. Silly me.
What in Yevon's name are those Guado thinking?
This is terrible.
And like it seems like this where I wish that like they could have just let all of the characters' models just be on screen. But this is a massive level for Lulu. She's going to get like 3 of her top tier spells and more HP. It's like what a time, what a level, what a queen. She has transcended. She is now like at her top tier. We love that for her.
Riku, we're inside. We
This bites. Do you read me? Riku, do you read me? You go under.
Oh no!
We're blowing this up and taking the fiends with it.
We have to get underground.
Where's Yuna?
Summoner Sanctum. This way.
Here is the part where after this battle, it's like super frustrating. After this battle, there's like a whole camera perspective shift. And even there, I was like, oh, I know I have to backtrack and go in this door. I know it's really important. I go back and go into that little green box in the minimap, but it won't let you. So you have to go forward into the fixed perspective. And then once it changes, oh, I'm such an idiot. Keep walking forward. I know you have to go to the thing, but you have to go forward. And this is what really annoyed me. I was like, I need to go there. I can't miss it. But you have to go forward till it changes the fixed perspective. Then you can go back and go into the door with the little white light.
Oh, not that way.
And there's a Bhed Primer on the bed. But again, like, you are not able to come back here if you do not collect that one Bhed Primer. Like, it's just missed. You'll have an incomplete compendium of the Bhed language. You will never know what the letter T is. And like, that's a really common letter. Enter the password in proper Bhed. Sorry. So we have S something something, and then we can basically understand that O is Y. And then wait. The only one we don't have is W, because that's later on in the alphabet. So fate. F is W. And then pardon is all in pink because we've collected enough of them. And you get a friend sphere. And this is like so clutch. This is like that one thing is like going to be an absolute game changer. And then, oh my god, just click on the chest. Just click it. The treasure chest of dreams asks, what do I contain? And so whatever one you click on is what the chest is going to have. And there's like monsters there, like the bomb, the chimera, the evil eye. But if you pick in the middle one, elixir, it will have an elixir for you. And then the only other thing is to go to the right for another Bhed Primer. Bhed potions, if we don't have like a trillion of them already. Come on, guys. But yeah, down this corridor to the right has another set of those like puzzle treasure chests, which are quite cool. And like some of them even test like if you were paying attention to the game as well, which I like. It's not all just basic translation. Like there's even some where you have to go, oh, actually, I better have been paying attention to like bits and pieces from the story. Or like certain things would be slightly harder. And this is where I just am like, okay, Riku has Curaga, one of the best healing spells in the game. We also have Lulu. And I'm like, she's 29 magic. It's not the highest, but it's not like very low either. And I'm just torn. I'm like, oh, do I really want to move her away from like Yuna's grid? But, spoiler, I do move her. And she gets all of the gas spells. And, like, I basically am just, like, you know, in terms of, like, the white magic she would get later on, it's like Curaga, Regen, and Holy. Okay? It's, like, damage, healing over time, and massive healing. There's nothing that major that she would really gain from that, whereas gaining... you know, 4 different types of elemental damage, and at the highest tier it can be, collect your Bhed Primer. you know, it just made sense to me to do that. I kind of was humming and hawing. I'm like, oh, will I leave it till later? Will I leave it till later? And eventually I was like, no, like Lulu's at the stage of the sphere grid where she has access to all 4 of them at once. And yeah, it's just so worth it. And again, I just love those little touches that the game has where it just, you know, puts in those little voice lines of dialogue. You know, asking where unit is, stuff like that. You know, it's really sweet. So, maths. The first digit is 4 plus 1, so 5. The second digit is 7 minus 1, which is 6. The third digit is 3 times 1, which is 3. And the fourth digit is 2 plus 1, which is 3. And obviously this is very easy for us because you've been collecting all of the Bhed Primers as we went. But like, heaven help you if you like didn't collect any and you just see this gobbledygook of letters. So Bhed verification. And again, are you Bhed? You just basically try and say yes. Y-E-S. Name the son of the Bhed leader. So the Bhed leader is Sid, and Riku's brother is Brother. And then on what island do the Bhed live? They live on Bikanel Island, not home. And then what is Bhed in Bhed? And so yeah, special and skill sphere, really, really useful. But I can't lie, the most clutch thing is that friend sphere. And like, we're going to see that like in action, just getting Riku completely overpowered in like high level white magic, high level black magic. Just totally amazing. And like, there is a selfishness as to what I did with Riku here, because I was kind of like, oh, I might like move Yuna over. I was like having this big internal debate, but I like didn't want to spend Lulu's level, because obviously the friend sphere just moves people to where the person currently is. And I was genuinely like, okay, move on, get more agility. And then I was just looking ahead being like, okay, evasion, defense, magic-y stuff, MP. But like, getting 4 top tier black magic spells. And then if Riku gets them that way, then Yuna can use the black magic spheres we've been collecting to learn some black magic via those, and then you've kind of 3 mixed mages. So yeah, it made sense to me, and so I did it. I'm also worried that, oh yeah, I just was double checking, and like, yeah, so basically you get to Bhed Primer 21. You should have up to 21, and then you can move on. You've collected everything in this area that it has to offer. But as always, and it's always good practice in gaming, just have multiple saves. And like, if nothing else, just leave a save. Just leave a save in home if you're ever worried that you'll miss it. But I'm gonna shut up for a really important scene.
This place done for.
You're right. You're right, Waka. We Bhed, we weren't always like this. Sin destroyed the island where we all used to live. After that, we were scattered to every corner of Spira. But then, my dad brought the Bhed together again. If we put our minds to it and worked together, then we could make a new home. Everyone worked hard. We had our home back again. But now, why did things have to turn out this way?
Riku. Damn those Guado. What are they thinking?
We'll be there soon, Uni.
But I hope you guys are ready for some absolutely emotional drama and the absolute peak level of music manipulation. Like, we've been hearing this like klaxon this constant like alert sound, like the drama of the music, and then it all just stops for the drama that's about to unfold.
You kidnapped them.
I know it's against the teachings and all that.
I get why you did it, but
Well, I sure don't get it, Waka. They might get hurt on their pilgrimage. So you kidnap them? I mean, if the summoners don't do their job, then who will beat Sin? You want to protect them, I know. But Guardians are there for that. If Guardians do their job well, summoners will be safe. Right? Right?
it's quiet. Kimari goes now.
And there it is, the music. And we'll just end it there, guys.